the beating of Senator Charles Sumner becomes such a beautiful example of where or should say, disgusting example of where the politics are on here. And make no mistake, Pierce is not an innocent bystander here. He's causing this, and he's causing it by his enforcement of the Fugitive Slave Act, his signing of the Kansas-Nebraska Act. So at this point, his support nationwide has evaporated. Even the Democratic Party doesn't want him anymore.
Wow.
And what's interesting is that there are Secretary of State Macy is having, honestly, some interesting, I think actually very interesting adventures as this is going on.
Right.
Because in 1854, there's something called the Onstead Manifesto, which is a hellacious name, but the Austin Manifesto, OSTND, Austin, which feels like another way to spell the word Austin, Manifesto, was an argument that the United States should consider acquiring Cuba by purchase if possible, or by stronger measures if Spain refused. And this got leaked, and basically the North was like, what are you going to do? Get Cuba and put more slaves on? I'm not joking. That was literally what the North said. They're like, you're just trying to get Cuba to get more slaves. Have a plantation economy down there. And the administration never actually addressed this. They were just they kind of try to soft talk their way out of it. And this was 1854. People were like, don't trust anything that they're saying. But this also hurts the South because this wasn't a policy of the Democratic Party. They're like, oh my God, the North has in terms of population, obviously a 3/5 compromise helps the South a lot in terms of electorate. But they're like, guys, we're going to this is going to be an actual problem if you guys keep doing this. So the South doesn't even like it. In that same year, you start to see he supported the Reciprocity Treaty of 1854, where
what was that one?
It basically allowed an expansion of trade of natural products, so wood, beaver pelts, things like that, between British North American colonies, which is primarily Canada, and the United States, on First Nation status. So basically they would trade with the best with the best prices. This is actually
our first NAFTA.
Dude, honestly, the first NAFTA. I like that one, dude. That's awesome. This ends up being broadly successful, and actually seen as one of the first international trade agreements between the U.S. and Canada. But again, he has no ability to celebrate these wins because they're just always this shadow. His entire presidency is overshadowed by Kansas, Nebraska. So not only did he lose the nomination of the Democratic Party, but he
lost the nomination.
Yeah, he actually went to the convention and sought renomination. But this man, who just 4 years earlier was seen as this compromised candidate who had broad support, completely lacked any support. Nor the Democrats viewed him as honestly horrifically hurtful to their viewpoints, and the Southern Democrats were empowered. They got everything they wanted from this. They kind of got everything they wanted from Millard Fillmore too, and so who do they elect? They elect the worst president ever. They elect James Buchanan. And any party that thinks that James Buchanan, especially any electorate at the time who thinks that James Buchanan is a reconciler candidate is completely wrong.
No.
So in 1856, he becomes only the second president to lose his nomination from his party.
That's insane. You know how bad you have to be to not even get your nomination?
Right? In the party that, is made up of people you did everything.
Who also didn't? Who was the first one who didn't get it?
Fillmore.
Fillmore? Okay.
So it's back to back, dude.
Yeah. Oof.
So Pierce ends up leaving office on March 4th, 1857, when James Buchanan is sworn in as the big spoiler.